Hello and welcome to Poi Technicalities. Today we're going to go over alternate ways of using a finger loop. The usual way is you take your two fingers, you stick it through, you flip them over, and you've got something nice to spin with. It's really solid, you can spin with it for hours. It's good in almost all respects. The only problem is that because of the structure of the knot, you've got to have two fingers curled, hooked. And that really limits what you can do with your hands. You can't accentuate motion very well. In order to fix that, we're going to use compression knots. So the two compression knots we're going to go over today are the half butterfly lock and the full butterfly lock. The half butterfly lock is you start with your normal setup. You take your fingers through the loop, you flip it over. But at that point, rather than being done and using this, we're going to pull out and stick your fingers in the other way. What that does is that puts the poi on the palm side of this cross piece rather than the finger side as it was in the first loop. And that means that you can have open hand. So you can spin without using those two fingers that you had to have hooked in the last setup. And that's really nice. It means that you can curl your fingers through a corkscrew. It means you can have an open hand position. And with two poi, this looks rather nice. So it aids in presentation. A normal buzzsaw is something like this. And that's good, it works. It's very solid, it works. But with very minimal effort, you can make it a lot more magical. You can just open the hands, and suddenly it looks as though something really interesting is going on, when really, it's the same thing as this. So, that's the half butterfly lock. It's very useful. Now the reason it's called a half butterfly is that it's very similar to an actual butterfly lock, which is based on a butterfly knot. If I show this to you, this is how it was. Both the loops are on the same side of this cross piece. If you flip one of them over, suddenly you've got a butterfly knot. So a butterfly knot, you fold them over this way. Note that they're crossing over the cross piece and then going across. And then you can stick your finger through, and it'll look like this. Note that if you do this instead, and put your finger through, it'll look like this. And this is not a compression knot, this will not stay on. So, to reiterate, here, across, put your finger through, and tighten it. And now, you can spin off of one finger. Full control, the same articulation as any other poi movement, but you've got full control. And you can got full control of your other fingers. I can wiggle them, I can not use them, I can do any number of things with that. So that is a full butterfly lock. The one concern about using compression knots to increase the expressiveness of your poi is that they cut off circulation. So if you're spinning for more than 2-3 songs in a row, you'll want to give your fingers a break. Let them get blood in them again. Otherwise, you'll get numbness, tingling, eventual loss of fingers. Don't do that. We like your fingers, you like your fingers, don't cut them off. Thank you, this has been Poi Technicalities, going over 2 alternate finger locks.